My presentation is called Shared Customs, Values, and Beliefs by Vanessa Martin, World History Themes at Grand Canyon University. For my topic, I chose to do ancient Japanese and ancient Native American cultures, comparing taboos, medicine and healing, and the afterlife. The first section of my presentation will cover cultural taboos. And according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, taboo is something that is not acceptable to say, mention, or do. Many cultures have different types of taboos, and what may be considered acceptable in one culture can be viewed as completely unacceptable in another. While doing my research on Japanese cultural taboos, there were a few that stood out to me. One of those is walking and eating. Japan does take a lot of pride in its cleanliness of its country, and by prohibiting eating while walking makes it less likely to spill or drop crumbs while eating on the go. They also believe that food holds a significant place in Japanese culture, and the dining experience deserves full attention. This view, deeply rooted in history, particularly emerged during World War II when food was scarce and treated as a valuable resource. The next taboo that Japanese follow strictly is wearing shoes in temples are absolutely prohibited. The reason being is that shoes have been worn throughout the day and are considered too dirty for such a sacred space. The last part of Japanese cultural taboos covers silence on public transportation. Maintaining silence in confined spaces, such as trains, can help ensure that everyone nearby feels comfortable and undisturbed. Consequently, people are highly aware of how their actions, including the noise they make, impact those around them. Jumping on over to Native American cultural taboos, I found it interesting that there are two tribes that do not eat fish. Those two tribes are Navajo and Yavapai, and this is told from a global flood occurred many, many years ago, during which some ancient Yavapai individuals transformed into fish due to that flood. Therefore, eating fish is seen as potentially consuming a relative. In a vast majority of the tribes, owls are viewed as messengers of misfortune or death, which has resulted in taboo against eating owl meat. This belief highlights the owl's dark symbolism within their cultural traditions. Consequently, consuming owl is generally shunned to honor these convictions. One of the other taboos that I chose to cover was Native Americans and the women's pregnancy. It is believed women should not tie knots when pregnant, or she may endure a challenging birth. Another is she may not look at a dead person or a dead animal because it is bad luck and the child could be born sick. The last one, the husband of a pregnant woman should not kill a snake during her pregnancy, or it is said that the child would be born with the markings of the snake and die. For the next section of the presentation, I will be covering medicine and healing in both cultures in comparison. In the Japanese culture, they practice something called Reiki. It's a holistic healing practice that involves channeling universal life energy to promote physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. The purpose of Reiki is to facilitate relaxation, reduce stress, and enhance the body's natural healing processes. Practitioners typically perform Reiki by gently placing their hands on or near the recipient's body, allowing energy to flow and restore balance. Benefits of Reiki can include improved mood, reduced pain, and a greater sense of peace and harmony. Native Americans also believe in holistic or natural remedies when it comes to healing. One of those is a talking circle. In a talking circle, participants gather in a circle to listen deeply and share from the heart, beginning with a prayer from the traditional practitioner. A feather or talking stick is passed around, inviting each person to speak sincerely while others listen without interruption or judgment. This sacred space facilitates healing, allows for the resolution of trauma, and encourages the expression of one's true feelings, also helping mental health. It's quite common in Native American, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian communities to use natural plants and herbs for various medicinal needs. The types of medicinal plants and their uses vary greatly among the different tribes that rely on them. For the last topic of the presentation, we're going to end it with death and the afterlife in both cultures. Shinto is Japan's indigenous spirituality focused on the worship of kami, spirits linked to nature, ancestors, and sacred sites. It emphasizes rituals and purification to maintain harmony with these kami. In the afterlife context, Shinto highlights the significance of ancestral worship, believing that the spirits of the deceased continue to impact the living, thus reinforcing respect for ancestors and cultural continuity. In Native American culture, similar to the Japanese culture, many Native American death rituals aim to ensure the spirit's safe passage. Different tribes would leave offerings like food, jewelry, tools, and weapons, and some historically sacrificed slaves and horses. Other practices focus on guiding the spirit, such as allowing the body to decompose in a tree or use open burial chambers to help the spirit escape. These customs reflect a profound connection with nature and the cycle of life and death. Through all of the research, we've come to the conclusion. Even though Japanese and Native American cultures are quite different, they do show some interesting similarities when it comes to their beliefs about the afterlife and healing practices. Both cultures believe in the importance of spirits and ensuring they transition peacefully, which demonstrates their deep respect for life's natural cycle. They also share a focus on natural remedies for healing, illustrating a common understanding of health that ties them closely to nature and the spiritual realm. These shared beliefs highlight a fundamental human desire to honor those who have passed and to maintain a connection to the natural world for well-being. That comes to the end of my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you are interested in more information, here are the references I have included in my presentation.